Hi everyone, this is Sita. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a voiceover since it was a bit noisy around here at the time that I was filming this, so this was really the best option. So I received these two new inks from Ferris Wheel Press and I'm going to swatch them out. But this time I'm going to try something a little different and actually do a simple little floral ink painting for you guys. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm just going to start off by adding a little bit of water to my paper here, and I'm just using some Blick watercolor paper. It's cold press, and they're the 9x12 sheets, and I just cut it down to a smaller sheet for this purpose. We can get started here. Here are the two new inks that I received from Ferris Wheel Press. I love this lavenderish purple color. It looks so pretty. This is one of their curious collaborations with, I am going to destroy this name, Fete Chinoise or Chinoise. Sorry. I apologize. But yeah, the packaging as always is gorgeous. Love these little whimsical rabbits or bunnies. They're so pretty. And so charming. But yeah, can get lost in these images just in the boxes alone. But yeah, they prepare you for the gorgeousness that's inside each of these little boxes. And now here, I'm just pulling out the bottle. And this bottle has a very unique design in the front. It's different from their other bottles, which was a nice surprise. But yeah, very beautiful. Just look at that color. Wow, it is gorgeous. And I just love holding these bottles. They are beautiful. Look at that shimmer inside. And now this is the Lapis Lullabies ink from Ferris Wheel Press. Hush now, close your eyes and lay in the embrace of a bed of roses. Surrender to the soft lulls of slumber and wade through the wondrous oasis of your imagination, awaiting a stroke of inspiration to break your enchanting spell. Wow, I love reading those. They're so much fun. And in the back, it just said that it has a base of blue and a sheen of red and a champagne shimmer. Very cool. Okay, so now let's open up this bottle. And here we have one of their small little bottles. They're so adorable. These are the 20 millimeter bottles, and look at that color. Wow. Very pretty. Okay, so just deciding which ink to start with, and I think that I'm gonna start with this purple Jade Rabbit ink. And I'm just gonna shake it up so I can get all the shimmers all dispersed. And I have a little paint palette here on my left. Just ignore the paint that is in there that's old from months ago when I was painting more. And I just didn't feel like washing it, so I'm just leaving it. So anyway, I'm going to put in a little bit of paint here, and just going to close this up so there are no accidents. And then I'm going to add a little bit of this ink to my paint palette, and I think I'm going to not use the same brush, just to make sure that I get a nice clean sample. And this one's on kind of tight. And I just forgot to mix it, so I'm mixing it. So this is the first time that I am adding ink to my paint palette. What I've done before in the past is just simply dip my brush and then do a little bit of swatching, but I figured this might be a better idea since I'm going to actually do a little bit of a painting here. So let's see how it goes. Now here I'm using my Da Vinci Cassiano brush. I love this brush. I just started using it and it is so lovely. But yeah, I'm not sure if I would recommend using expensive brushes with these inks. I don't know too much about the properties of fountain pen inks, but did notice that I had some trouble getting my let's see, which one is this one? The Lapis Lullabies. I had a little bit of trouble getting that ink completely cleaned off of my brush, so I'm not sure. I'll have to look into it and just do a little bit more research on it. I mean, it's probably fine. Maybe I just dipped my brush a little bit too far, but I don't tend to have this issue with regular watercolor pigments, so I'm not sure if it's just this specific color that I just could not get out of my brush, but yeah, I'll have to do some research. So if you guys know if they're safe for regular watercolor brushes, if they do any damage, I'm not sure, but until I do more research, I will not be using these inks with my more expensive brushes for sure. So here I'm just trying to clean it out. And the blue really stays. And what happened was the blue went like a little bit further in, not in this brush, but my other brush. It went like inside, like past the bristles, and that's where it kind of like stayed. And it took endless cleaning and cleaning to try to get it out until like I finally did after a day or so. Alright, so let's get started. So I'm just gonna let this play a little bit and enjoy. So I'm gonna need to pick up a little more of the purple Jade Rabbit ink, and I'm going to use this little dropper tool instead to pull out the ink instead of using my brush. I think this is probably a much effective way to do it. And that way I can control how much I pick up also, and I don't ruin my brush. So I'm just gonna paint in this last little flower here, and I like that. And then I'm gonna select a watercolor paint color from my paint chart here, and I'm gonna go with this violet color here. It's a nice dark purple, and I wanted it to look good with the purple Jade Rabbit and the Lapis Lullaby color. And I think the dark purple really gives a nice contrast. And here it is. Here's the finished piece, and I really love the way it turned out. The colors look so pretty next to each other, and I love how the purple Jade Rabbit, the shimmer on it looks amazing. It looks so beautiful. If you can see it here a little bit. There it is. So lovely. And now what I'm going to do is also do a traditional swatching and a little bit of writing so you can see the way these inks look. Okay, so I'm going to start with swatching the Lapis Lullabies first. I'm just going to do a nice big swatch here. I did mix this up and try to make sure that all the shimmers were mixed in there. So I'm going to see if I can pick up more of the shimmer, because I'm not seeing too much. And we'll see if I can get more of that champagne shimmer to show up. So here we go. Also, once this dries, the shimmers might show up then. So we'll let this dry for a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and now use my glass dip pen. And as I've mentioned this in another video, I believe that I'm not a fan of my glass dip pen. I just purchased 2 more glass dip pens and I'm going to test those out. I was told by another commenter that the glass dip pen that I have might be an imitation glass, and that might be why I'm having issues. So that could be it. And my main issue is that it's not as smooth as I thought it was going to be. I thought glass dip pens were like super smooth, but then again, I've never owned one before, so this could be the way they are, you know, so we'll see. I will only know if once I try other glass dip pens. But this is really nice. It's showing up very nicely. The shimmer, you can see in the writing, it's very, very prominent. And on the left hand side, you can see the shimmers coming up, and also that red tone, which is pretty cool. It gives it like an antique kind of look. And there's a lot of different variations happening. So there's the shimmer, there's the blue that seems to be in 2 tones, and you can see it's like a lighter tone that shows up and then a darker, deeper tone. So it's the 2 shades of blue, the red that pops in there, and also that champagne shimmer. So this is a very interesting color. And it writes really nicely. So you do get a different effect when it's, you know, when you're writing with it. And look at the shimmer. Hopefully you can see, but I can definitely see it. It shows up really, really well. Okay, so let's, just gonna clean out my glass dip pen so that we can get started on the next color. I received this really, really great tip from someone from a Facebook group that I'm in called Fountain Pen Enthusiasts, and so what they told me they did was when they use their glass dip pen and they're swatching out colors, before just dipping their pen in the water and cleaning it out that way, they just wipe it on a wet paper towel prior to dipping it in the water. That way your water lasts longer and doesn't get dirty as quickly. So I thought that was a great tip. Okay, so just taking another look here to make sure you guys can see the shimmer and the color, the 2 tones of the blue depending on how much ink you're using, and also how it writes. And yeah, really loving this color. It's really, really nice. Okay, so I'm just mixing up the purple Jade Rabbit, and there you can see the shimmer. It really collects at the bottom, so you have to make sure to get a good mix. But now I got it. Now it's all mixed in, and it's such a pretty color. You can see a little blob that got stuck. Alright. Okay, so let's take a look at how this looks on the Tomoe River Paper. And wow, this is very light. I think I may need to go back and grab some more ink. let's see how it looks now. Okay, I think I got a better amount of ink here. And I think it looks lighter on screen than it does in person, but it is a similar color as the sample on the watercolor paper that I did earlier. So it's definitely not lighter, but okay, here we go. So you can see the sample looks, I don't know, it for some reason on the watercolor paper it just pops a little bit more, but in person it looks good. It looks fine. In person it doesn't look as light as it does here. But what I'm gonna try is seeing if you can lay on a little more color over the top and see if that darkens it up a little bit more. And we'll see how this looks once it dries. Okay, so now let's take a look how this writes. And I'm really excited to see how this writes. Okay, so let's do a little writing sample, and yeah, this is a really, really pretty color. It's not too light, and it shows up on the paper very well. The purple is very shimmery, which I like. And I'm just gonna go ahead and write the name over here, the purple Jade Rabbit. And just quoting from the box, it does say that this color celebrates the tradition of the lunar zodiac with the rabbit in a luminous purple tone. And yeah, it definitely is luminous. It's a very, very pretty color. And here I am making sure that I spell this correctly because I cannot pronounce it, so I want to make sure that I do get this right and spell it correctly. And here is a closer look, and you can see how the purple did do a good job at layering, so you could get a deeper tone if you wanted to by adding a second layer. And look at that shimmer. Wow. Very nice. And the Lapis Lullabies, you can see the shimmer up there as well. Very cool. These are both very pretty colors. Look at the way it writes. The shimmer comes through very nicely. But yeah. So these are the two newest colors from Ferris Wheel Press. And they are not available at the moment, but they will be launching on January 6th. I am also a part of their ambassador program, so I do have a code for you guys, which is INKED. If you use that code, you will receive 10% off your order. And also, if they're running any sales, you can still use my code for an additional discount, which is really nice. And I will make sure to add the link down below. And that's all. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!